Hi, I'm Sarah Belmar, the editor of fundoperator.com. I'm here with Colin Gibson, Senior Advisor and Regional Advocate at the EDM Council. Colin is speaking at our Fund Operator Summit later this year, and ahead of that, we wanted to catch up with him to just get a little bit of a flavour of what he's going to be talking about. Hi, Colin.
Hi, Sarah. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Thank you for joining me. So my first question is, what are some of the drivers for fund operators who are looking to adopt cloud technology?
I guess the obvious one for most fund operators is it's a cost play. Avoiding the expense of having your own data centers, your own infrastructure. But sort of on top of that, it can be the flexibility that the cloud offers as well, the ability to scale up and scale down and meet peaks and troughs of demand. And those are the basics ones, but really where we're seeing value added is where there's advanced functionality. So the features and capabilities that are being offered by cloud service providers generally much more powerful than you typically get with your own premises infrastructure and capabilities. So people looking at that, particularly in the areas of machine learning, advanced analytics, etc.
Right. And what role do you see cloud data management playing in ensuring best practice for some of those fund operators?
Yeah, so it's really, I think, a matter of sort of balancing the opportunities and the challenges. So with the cloud, it's easy to make data available to more people. People talk about data democratization. But the question is, should you be making that data available? And is it going to be used for purposes for which it should be used? It's also easier in cloud to move data around between regions and locations. But again, with that, should you be doing that? Is there cross-border data movement risk? Is there data sovereignty restrictions that you should be following? And basically, do you know what data you've got in the cloud? Do you know how sensitive and important that data is? And therefore, if you don't know that, are you in control? And data management is all about controlled access to trusted data. And you bring those together, that's the purpose of data management in the cloud, is to make sure you've got that trust and you've got that control.
It makes perfect sense. And then thinking about frameworks, how can fund operators use a framework to perhaps get the most out of their cloud technology?
Yeah, so I'll talk specifically about the cloud data management capability framework that the EDM Council has put together. That's a comprehensive statement of what is best practice around data management in the cloud. It details 37 specific capabilities that you ought to have. It talks about 14 specific controls that you need to have. And it wasn't just sort of invented on a whim. It was put together by a big industry work group. We had 300 people involved over 18 months, representing 100 different companies. So what it's done really is it's codified best practice. It's captured, thousands of man hours of input and advice. So the direction or the suggestion to fund operators would be reuse that. You don't reinvent the wheel. A lot of effort has been put into it. It's there. It's available. It's a free license. So look to use it. And another angle to that is we had the major cloud vendors involved in that initiative. We had Google, IBM, Microsoft and AWS all at the table, and they're all taking notice of that framework. They're all using it to influence their product pipeline. So again, advice to fund operators is if you're dealing with a cloud service provider, ask them how they support that best practice. Ask them to tell you how their products and services either currently support it or what's coming down the pipe that will support it in the future.
Of course, that sounds like a massive undertaking and a very valuable resource. So my last question is, with technology and innovation and things like these, how can fund operators make sure that they're best placed to take advantage of any innovation that's coming down the track?
So I think the first thing that we would say is you've got a great chance with the cloud to do things, properly, I'd say properly, but often in on-premises environments, you're held back by your legacy infrastructure, by your legacy applications. If you're implementing new things in the cloud and sort of greenfield site, you've got an opportunity to automate. You've got an opportunity to support your data management activities with automation to let you do that at scale, which is very important. And then be confident in your controls. Be confident that you're in control of your data, and therefore it's safe to innovate on top of that. So we would say, get the foundations in place and then use those foundations to innovate and advance.
Thank you so much. Obviously, we've only scratched the surface of all of this, and I can't wait to hear more about it in a lot more depth than our conference later this year.
Great. Thank you, Sarah.